Welcome back to another video. This video I will be soldering similar to the previous video. So you want 4 jump rings and you want to close the ends, and then you want a set of 3 and then another set of 3. So basically you're doing each part of an earring. So I'm going to be making I don't know, a twisted earring. Let's just call it that. So it's going to be the same process as making a necklace. Let's start. So I already have my flux mixed up. So we want to flux each of these jump rings. I have not found a nice way to store my paintbrush that I use for my fluxing in between. So that always takes a moment longer to do when you're trying to put your paintbrush somewhere. I found my nice pair of tweezers that I like. I have ordered more tweezers. Put down your solder pallions. If your timing is quick enough, you can get these to actually stick, but you still may lose them when you heat up the flux. So I'm going to do these 4 where, never mind, I'm just going to do them all the same. You'll learn to pinch your solder. If you're picking out like that with tweezers, you'll learn to just use enough pressure to hold it. Okay, I'm ready to solder. There we go. That looked pretty good. So I'm quenching each link. So that I can touch each link. Great. Now we take one of our open links. Take an open link and a freshly soldered link. Bend it just a little bit. bend it just a little more. Grab a second soldered link, put that on there, close your link. Now, if you're not seasoned to this process, you will likely have to use some pliers. Just be aware of your tool marks. So we're going to take the soldered ends and we are going to turn them away. So you want both of your soldered ends down away from your new joint. We will lay that just like this. That way my flame can concentrate on this first link without heating up the second link too much. We're going to set up these links now so we can do as much work as possible in a short amount of time. Imagine trying to do this with a deadline. So I have my second one set up just like before. Hold down the first link, let the other two links just fall down. We're going to move on to these two. Solder end down, close the link. Place the closed link down and then just let these other two links kind of fall. Just like that, we're ready to add some more water drops to our flux, and we will paint on some flux. So if you've been wondering about this in a previous video, it is just a dropper bottle. Drop your distilled water onto your flux. I always keep a reserve inside for the next use so I can just add the water. So I just rehydrate my flux. I always seem to lose my tweezers. So this one I'm going to do a little bit different because of the proximity of each piece. I'm going to make solder balls and then I will pick the solder balls onto the piece. So it's kind of juggling the balance of heat between melting your solder and direct heat on your piece. So once you lay these down, you probably don't want to touch them a whole lot other than to possibly rearrange them just slightly. So I'll be using these two links to connect these two and these two, and I'll be making 4-link chain. I will stretch them like the previous video, and then I will add a twist so that they have style. So I heat the tip of the pick. Well, first I'm going to grab some flux. Grab a little flux. Heat the end of my pick. Grab a piece of solder. Reheat it. Point the heat at the link. Keep the solder and the pick tip hot, and you can touch it right on the joint. If you get it hot enough and all the stars line up, it'll just stick. Or it won't stick. Then if you get the hot solder on, so we will move this out of the way and quench it. This method takes a little bit longer because you have to be precise with your heat. Keep your flame moving around, and that totally missed, so I will add the other solder ball. Sometimes your solder flow is not where you want it to be. There we go. So I have to turn the torch off because I have to find another piece of solder for the last set. Sometimes you drop your solder all over your bench. So I'm not going to edit this out because I want viewers to see things are going to happen no matter how careful you follow a process. Good enough. Moving on. Keep my tweezers where I can see them. Quench. Again, we're going to attach the jump ring to a set of 3. So I will be soldering a set of 7 jump rings together. Try to point all of your solder joints down, because the metal will absorb the heat, but you want all of the solder joints to be facing away from the one you're working on so they don't fuse together. Prep your next one. This is still a long video. It's gonna be over 20 minutes. If you're a viewer, you won't mind. So don't forget to point all of your recent solder joints down away from the link you're working on. Two more solder pallions. Have one already set up. Keep your tweezers visible. Oh, I forgot the flux. Sometimes you get caught up in the process of being ready to solder and then you forget your flux. So you have to stop your torch, drip your water, mix your flux. So if you're going down the path of using like a handy flux or a paste flux of some sort, you probably won't have this delay, but you will have problems with your flux because it'll dry out, it'll get crummy, you'll contaminate it. The reason I use the cone borax is because the contamination is lower compared to the jar of handy flux. So unless you're literally using your half a jar of flux to work on your project all in like just a few minutes, it didn't really seem to me very efficient. So I discovered the cone borax and dish style while I was learning how to do this stuff myself and still daydreaming. I will find the channel about the cone borax and put it in the video description. Here we go. Let's finish. These are going right into the pickle. Sizzle. Sizzle. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Thumbs up my video. Have a great day.